let's talk about data. Let's talk about how many times you had an issue with your data that caused you some frustration. How many times did you not find easily your data and you had to look in multiple locations and multiple devices, or you could find your data, but then you did not remember what the data was exactly about, which processes you have used to arrive to these results, which algorithms, which specific data sets were used to create this graph that you want to use now. And how many times you have also not being able to access the data of the colleagues because they are either not shared and the colleague is gone, and then you had to email them, and you have to hope that the colleague remembers what the data was exactly about, and then maybe you could reach to the data, but the data were not well documented. So you still could not understand what the data was about. And how many times it was not very easy to safely share data with externals. Or how many times you have had to regularly get data from instruments. So if you are working with data, you must have at least one of these issues once, I believe. And as data managers, we have seen these problems occurring frequently, and this is why and how we have designed the Tier-1 Data platform to help you solve these problems and to help you with your challenges. So the Tier-1 Data platform offers solutions to Tier-1 compute users, Tier-2 compute users, and Tier-1 cloud users. And it is here to make your data management easier. And you can invest the time of future frustration to deal with these problems now and try to make your data fair from the start. So in the research data lifecycle, Tier-1 data is meant for active data, which means that they are currently processed, collected, or analyzed, and they will move then to publication repositories, or they will be archived to domain-specific or institutional repositories. So in a nutshell, Tier-1 data is about these 4 core pillars. These are the centralization, metadata, automation, and collaboration. And you can use these pillars to overcome common data problems that we talked about, and we are now going to briefly check out how. So first, we offer central storage, which is 27 petabytes. And this can accommodate your active data, and the data may come from laptops to compute nodes to raw data from instruments or to already published data in repositories. And the data is also highly accessible because there are several clients, web interface, iCommands, which is a shell-like script, Python, SFTP client, and we also have Globus for data transfers, either one-off or automatic. The storage is also secure since there are regular backups and there is a double copy. So I believe with these functionalities, Tier-1 data can accommodate the ground truth of your data because it links to these different sources and supports multiple clients. So metadata is a second powerful functionality that we support in Tier-1 data. Metadata is, in other words, information about data or data labels, and they can be attached to folders and to files, and then used by your project as a set of control vocabulary in order to describe the data, but then also find them back. A metadata schema, which you can think of as a Google form, can be used to add free-form metadata, standardized metadata that are found in sidecar files like an Excel file, or they are embedded in the data files themselves. And the input can be manual or automatic, for instance, upon data ingestion. So with the metadata, you can properly contextualize your data and then search for them and filter them based on the contextualization. So the third powerful functionality is the automation, which can be set up by you using, for instance, the Python client or the iCommands client, or it can be set up on the server side with the support of the data team. So, for example, using the automation, you could set up a cron job in order to download the data and then make them ready for processing before you analyze in a compute node. Or you could, based on the metadata that you attach, automatize the upload of the data. Or you can ask the support team to help you with creating a report of the data that arrive in Tier-1 data, and they are categorized in the different destination folders. So setting up automation can help you gather and move your data around, organize them properly, regularize the processing of the data, and create reports for your information. The final functionality of Tier-1 data is the sharing and collaboration, which is a group-based, and it's very easy and user-friendly, as far as I'm concerned, at least, compared to other systems. To add, remove, or view the group members and provide access to groups in a granular way. And the granular way is both in the access levels themselves, in the sense that this can be write, read, own, or no permissions, but also in the folders, in the contents of the data, like this group access can be applied to different folders or even files, if you want. There is also the Globus tool that can also be used to share data with externals. So with this functionality, you can properly manage sharing data with internals and externals. But to put everything together, Tier-1 data stands in the middle of the data collection, the data analysis, and the data consumption. But data actually is in the middle, apart from the middle of computing and the world, data is everywhere. And data management is actually an investment. Even if you stay in research or you go after you conduct your research, you have built up your data management skills and you have facilitated your colleagues to use your data, and then you can also get properly referenced for your work. So I hope that you see the added value of Tier-1 data in your workflow, and you all want to try it. So we suggest that you apply for a Tier-1 data starting grant, for which you can apply at any time, using the application form that you will find online, and then sending your application by email. And you are eligible if you are using VSC, if you are affiliated with a public research institution in Flanders, so you have minimum 5 terabytes, and this data is active. Last but not least, there is a great team behind Tier-1 data that has worked very hard to make all this possible to you, and most importantly, this team is still here to support you and improve Tier-1 data based on your feedback in order to make data management easier. So thank you, and I hope we can network more during reception.